I spent 100 days in the biggest Pokemon MMO that you've never heard of. And yes, what you see on the screen, it's all the same game. Let me tell you more, and let's get started with this journey. So, it's pretty given that this is a MMO, which means you're playing online with other people. Yes, it's multiplayer, but that's not all, guys. We also get to play in multiple regions. Yes, there are fan-made regions with Fakemon, real Pokemon, and everything in between. There is a remake of Sinnoh, there is a remake of Kanto, and loads of custom-made regions. And in this case, we're going to be starting from the hub. That's where our journey starts. I'm going to try to spend 100 days in the game exploring the different regions. So here we go right away. So we start off in the hub area, of course, and we decide to switch our outfit, and we meet a few other players who are in the game as well. And now we have to do something for this clown. He's requesting us to do basically a bunch of missions for him by talking to these different trainers and beating them. Once we have done this, which takes a little bit of time, we can also then give ourselves our starter Pokemon, which you guys can see right here, which is freaking awesome. But the even bigger thing is you can have multiple Pokemon following you, which I think is bloody fantastic. You can have all your Pokemon, 6 of them, following you in the hub. But once we've done this, once we completed all the missions in the hub, the at least beginning missions, we are now allowed to travel to other regions. And now the story is going to get interesting because we're going to be jumping between our Sinnoh story, our Kanto story, our Barovia story, and another one. So let's get started. One of the first regions we visit is Barovia, which is a region where we have to go to because we've been invited by a count or some crazy dude that lives in a giant mansion. So we're going to be heading there right now on a Corviknight taxi because yes, it's in here. Now this is a separate region, so we're going to be exploring the story here, but meanwhile we're also going to be jumping over to different stories like our story in Sinnoh and our story in Kanto as well. However, in Barovia, we crash with our Corviknight taxi, and then we find a Pokemon, which is a weird Frankenstein freak Pokemon. We pick it up either way though, and go around trying to level up and catch new Pokemon so we can get inside of this big ass mansion. Meanwhile, over in Neo Sinnoh, yes, this is called Neo Sinnoh, which is basically a new Sinnoh set 5 years in the future from our regular world Sinnoh. And guess what? Here we are playing as the, I guess, brother of essentially Dawn, and Lucas has gone missing. So what is our journey now? Well, we have to go get ourselves a brand new Pokemon. We meet a new rival character, and guess what? We get to choose between these 3 epic starters in the Sinnoh Neo version. And I go for Piplup because it is a fighting type now, and it looks bloody awesome. However, we do lose our rival battle in the beginning here, which is a bit unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world. So instead, we head over and we talk to our grandpa in the game, and then we kind of want to head out on our journey. However, he's not going to let us because he doesn't appreciate it, and we have to battle him. The first time we lose, the second time we do a bit of grinding and take on Grandpa again, and guess what? We whoop his booty, and we are done with him for once. And now we can head over and actually explore the region a bit more. Meanwhile, back in Barovia, we've actually been walking around. We've caught a few new Pokemon actually as well. One of them is Rookie D, but on top of that, we've actually been battling a lot of really crazy trainers and found these things known as the Lost Souls, and we can essentially take their, well, I guess souls and collect them, and we will need these for later in the game, at least so I was told, so I should make sure to collect them. That was told to me by other players in the game as well. Keep in mind, this is an MMO, so there are other players running around exploring with us. So once we've gotten a few of these actual souls, we go, and now we are strong enough to take on these 2 guards right in front of the giant mansion. So that's what we end up doing, and here's how the battle goes. So both of them actually have this same looking Fakemon, which looks pretty creepy, I'm not gonna lie. But we got 2 of our Pokemon lads out here ready to do all the work. Of course, our main Pokemon is Brokenstein, which is essentially a Frankenstein's monster of a Pokemon, which was just left behind outside the mansion. And we're currently using it just trying to get through these guys. But they're not too difficult. Initially, I would say you would need to do a little bit of grinding before taking them on, because they are a little bit more difficult than you might anticipate. But once you have defeated them though, you gain access to the mansion, and it's time to explore that too. On the other hand, over in Sinnoh, we have now made it all the way up to Jubilee City, and here we get to do one of the puzzles that exists here, which you guys may remember from the original version, where you have to talk to the clowns. However, they've added a new clown, a female clown, that if you talk to her, she will challenge you to a battle with her Mr. Mime, which is ridiculously powerful actually. But if you do take it on and you do defeat her, Afterwards, you will be, well, once you've done all the little quizzes with all the clowns, be rewarded with their outfit. So you can dress up as a clown if you want to. I would highly not recommend that because, well, you look like a joke, but you can do it though. However, we also have a story going on over in Kanto, which if you guys have not already noticed, there is also Kanto in this game. It's old school Kanto with newer battles, but our starter Pokemon is going to be Charmander. Yes, we choose Charmander because, I mean, come on, Charizard, it's awesome. Why wouldn't we? However, as you may notice, they've added a brand new area called the Palette Fields, which is a new place you can go to, and here you can find a few Pokemon that you normally wouldn't find in normal Kanto regularly. But also, there is the developer of this whole game and this whole MMO, Jext. He can be found here, and he has a level 100 shiny Azumarill. So do not battle him, you will lose unless you are 100% prepared against that. On the other hand though, once you've done all this, you can head out and explore. You don't really need to go to the Palette Fields, you can just go out and explore the general Kanto region, which is what we're going to be doing as well. Over in Barovia, on the other hand, we've actually made it inside the mansion now, and of course, this means that we're going to be finding a place we can heal, as well as discovering all the secrets that are inside the mansion. One of the first secrets we find in here is actually this weird little, like, hole in the wall, where a guy just sells you a bunch of items. This is a good way for us to get a lot of items we'll be needing down the line, because this place gets difficult, I'm not gonna lie. Outside though, there is a statue that decides to battle us for whatever reason. We do defeat it, however, and then it's time to do some of the puzzles in here. There's a weird piano room, not really much can be learned here, we'll have to get back to this later. On the other hand, if we go upstairs, there are some secrets that could be found. On the other hand, back in Neo Sinnoh, we are actually doing a bit of grinding as we're about to take on our rival. Of course, he has that Turtwig, which I actually do not know what the type of this thing is, but it is very difficult to defeat, I'll be honest. Really strong. However, we do a bit of grinding, and eventually, with our Shinx and of course our fighting type Piplup, we do defeat him, and now we can head to, well, guess what? To take on Roark. Yes, next up is going to be that. Back in Retro Kanto, we are actually getting ourselves a Mareep, a Pidgey, and of course we have to add a Nidoran into our team because we want to have that Nidoking down the line, which will be super useful and strong. Then we make our way all the way up to, you know, well, through Viridian Forest and all the way to Brock. And I'm gonna be honest, we easily leveled like this because we had, well, an easy time just leveling up. So when we took on Brock, we pretty much took him out straight away. We just used Charmeleon at this point because we'd already leveled up that much, and we beat his team right away, being able to already make it towards Mount Moon very quickly at this point. On the other hand, over in Neo Sinnoh, we have now made it to the Orborg Gate Cave, and as we get through here, we also get Rock Smash, which we'll be needing a little bit later in the story. But for now, we have this, and it's time to look for Roark. He should be down in the caves, so we're going to be searching for him there, and along the way, we find this epic-looking Zubat. This thing looks so good, dude. I mean, just look at his little cheeks. Look at his beautiful little cheeks. This is a beautiful looking Zubat. This is a regional form, and we decided to catch it because we want to add it to our team. This is, of course, a Neo version, Neo Sinnoh looking Zubat, which I freaking love. And we add it to our team and move on to talk to Roark next. Then over in Retro Kanto, we have now made it through Mount Moon. We're about to take on Misty. Of course, we had our little Mareep that has now evolved into a Flaffy, and guess what? It is very strong. All of its electric type moves are perfect, and we take out Misty instantly. The first try, Misty is defeated. And next, of course, is our rival Blue, which again, guess what? Flaffy can defeat him too, because he does have the opposite starter of us, which, you know, we have Charmander, so he has Squirtle, and of course he has a little Pidgey and whatever, and guess what? We defeat them all. His whole team is destroyed. We make it across the Nugget Bridge, and we get all the way to Bill's home to get that SS Ann ticket, which we need to get to the SS Ann itself. On the other side, in Barovia, we did some interesting stuff. First of all, we went to this kind of dinner menu thingy-majingy where we have to make a meal for these guys and set the table and stuff, but for this we need a tablecloth and a few other things as well. But to get those, we need to do this weird door puzzle, which we end up somehow completing, which once we've done that, we get inside, we put on the light, and we're able to get, I think, the tablecloth at this point. And once we had that, we're able to go back down and actually find out that the thing that's being served, the food, is a straight-up ghost. We battle it and defeat it, and afterwards, we are just, well, kind of rewarded with getting the food from the table, which really wasn't a lot if you really think about it. But we also get a weird basculin dead fish, which if you take to this giant, well, big bear over here, it is essentially an Ursaring. If you give it to it, a fire will light up, and if you talk to this Ouija board, some stuff happens too. We're told that we need to go and find the skeleton key to get to where the Count lives. However, back in Neo Sinnoh, we're about to take on Roark, of course, the gym leader leader here. He's ready to be rumbled with us. But guess what? This man has a regional version, a Neo version of a Geodude, and this thing looks crystallized and different. However, of course, because we do have knockback, these rock types are not going to be able to do anything towards us, so Geodude is gone. On the other hand, he also does have a Veilozult. Yes, this is them taking the real actual, like, fossil, like, mixed version from Galar of this Pokemon and making a completed version of it, which I think is genuinely amazing. Seriously, mad props on this one. But we do defeat this one pretty easily as well. Once again, this Piplup is just ridiculously strong. So next up, he has a Cranidos. Same thing. We defeat it pretty easily. And guess what? Our Piplup is evolving, ladies and gentlemen. And it evolves into a Prinplup. I'm going to be honest, I preferred the way it looked like when it was just a Piplup. Now that it's a Prinplup, it doesn't look as good, but still a cool design nonetheless. Over in Retro Kanto, we've actually made quite a bit of progress. We made it to Vermilion City, so we're going to be entering the SS Anne, where we're going to battle our rival once again. And of course, you guys already know what it is. We gotta kill his Raticate. Of course, we gotta send it to the Shadow Realm, which we end up doing pretty quickly. We get cut, then we get to the Vermilion City Gym, which has Lieutenant Surge inside of it. We get inside, and we do the puzzle pretty quickly. It's not ending up being as complicated as I thought it would be. And guess what? His team is demolished by our team of Ampharos, Nidorino, and of course, our Charmeleon. These guys are very strong, so we easily take out his gym and move on to the next one. Now we go through the Dark Cave, where we get to Lavender Town. In Lavender Town, there's really not much to do because we can't really go all the way up in the Pokemon Tower without the Sylph Scope. So we have to go over to take on Erica instead, which we do. Erica, of course, because she has Grass-type Pokemon, is not as difficult as, well, anybody else in this game because of the fact that we have Charmeleon on us. So we go in with Charmeleon, destroy her team more or less, and guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We can now move on back to the city and explore more. Over in Barovia, you guys might remember that I specifically mentioned a piano. Well, there's a puzzle around that. We have to play the piano to unlock it to gain access to an item. Also, I should point out that once we've done this, we now almost have access to the skeleton key. We need to do a few little extra things, which is over in the library. We need to bring this book that we found inside the piano. When we put it there, these two freaking skeleton Pokemon awaken. Yes, and what are these two? Well, it's Aerodactyl and Kabutops, but they're ghostly in this case, and we had to defeat them. I'm going to be honest, they're pretty difficult, so we had to just level up quite a lot to actually be able to defeat them. But once we did that, I'm going to be honest, guys, it felt so satisfying. Defeating these two was perfect. It did take a while. We had to kind of get Shadow Sneak on our main Pokemon and hit them a few times with that and just get lucky with the poison as well. So after doing all of that, we finally defeat them, and guess what? We receive the skeleton key, which will unlock the room to the Count. Back in Neo Sinnoh, we gotta help out our rival who's stuck in the cave. He's having some weird claustrophobic feeling because of the rocks in there. So of course, we gotta help him out. We're gonna just rock smash all the rocks around him, help him out. He leaves. Well, he does give us a little bit of a thank you, but I still don't think he's thankful enough. Either way, now we made it out of the cave, and we're back in Jubilee. Now here, we run into, well, again, Team Galactic. I don't understand how these guys, after 5 years, are still very dedicated to doing their job. But here they are, and they're picking a fight with me once more. This time around, I'm not Lucas, I'm Ray, for whatever reason. But we're going to be defeating them as per usual. They are easily taken out, and all that remains now is to get to Floroma Town. Back in Retro Kanto, we've now made our way over to Fuchsia City. Now, before we got there, we had to go through a few things, right? We went to the Lavender Tower and dealt with the Ghost Marowak inside of there. Once we kind of defeated him and sorted him out, everything was sort of solid, and we could make our way around and, you know, get to Koga. So Koga is an interesting case. He was a little bit more difficult than I thought, but luckily, we now have Charizard, right? A Charmeleon evolved, and Charizard is way stronger and way more, like, hard-hitting. It's just going to take out anything in our way. So Koga ends up being not really a walk in the park, a bit more difficult than I expected, right? So, once we defeated him though, now it's time to look for some of those HMs. Now, we need to get HM Strength and HM Surf. Those are both in the Safari Zone. So we enter in, look around for a while, and finally we find them. Once we got these two, we give Surf to Nidoking, because it just makes sense to have that on Nidoking, and now we have the ability to surf all the way to Cinnabar Island. However, we have to go back first, as we still need to take on Sabrina. And before Sabrina, we have to take on the Silphco building. So we go through it, we again see our old friend, our rival Blue, and of course this guy also gives us Lapras, but Blue ends up being very easy. We got the Ampharos, which takes out his Blastoise. Again, God bless us Ampharos being in our team, it's so freaking strong, but Ampharos does most of the job. Charizard comes in the clutch, and then we have Giovanni. I'm gonna be honest, really not that big of a trouble. Again, our team was extremely strong, and we had kind of a nice variety in our team that kind of left a lot of, to be desired from the enemies, I guess, but for me, made just a perfect team that could deal with everything in our way. Once Giovanni's beaten, we get our Master Ball, which will come in handy soon, you will see, but now we can go and take on Sabrina. She was way too easy. We just wing attacked her whole team, literally, straight up, just Charizard, wing attack, Charizard, wing attack, Charizard, wing attack, and they are dead, okay? That's all we needed to do, and these guys fell to the floor like there was no tomorrow. So now that Sabrina is done, there are 2 more gym leaders to go. And ladies and gentlemen, we're back in Neo Sinnoh, and I've got to be honest, we've made it now through the cave up towards Floroma Town. There are a few battles in between here, like these weird shining twins that we have to take on, but that's besides the point. Once we defeated everybody here, we made it through the cave with a lovely few Pokemon. We only really have like 3 or something, but nonetheless, we made it to Floroma Town. Unfortunately, this is where the Sinnoh version of the game ends. So if you have been playing Neo Sinnoh, this is where it ends, and they're still developing the rest of it. So our Neo Sinnoh journey ends at this point, ladies and gents. But let's continue with our other journeys in the other regions. In Barovia, we now have the skeleton key, which means we can go and talk to the lady right in front of the Count's, apartment building, I don't even know if we're going to call it, his room, right? We talk to her, and she's freaking out about going to the creepy dungeon where she gets thrown inside of a few times before. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, we can now enter his room. Unfortunately, he's not there. He's in, like, the tower above. And what makes this even worse is, if we want to get all the way to the top, we have to evolve our little Frankenstein's monster here. Unfortunately, we're not going to be doing that in this video. Now let me introduce you to the Claudia region. Yeah, you might have been thinking, oh, we're going back to this or that or whatever. No, we're going to Claudia. This is another region in this game. Yes, there are so many. And Claudia is one that's literally in the, well, clouds. It's in the name. So here you get a Pokemon egg that you have to hatch. So you have to just run around for a while. You can even jump on clouds, which is really fun, by the way. Either way, though, let's just get back to the main point. Now that the egg is hatched, you will get a, well, Swablu in this case. Now you gotta go and talk to this old man. He will give us a old rod. We gotta get this old rod, and we're literally cloud fishing, like straight up cloud fishing for Pokemon. And that's what you get to do here. Then you can go and take on this little, like, I don't know, dojo over here and do a little bit of leveling. It's just a little fun extra side region to explore for fun, and there's quite a few things you can do here as well. Back in Retro Kanto, as you guys may remember, Sabrina was defeated. Now we have 2 gyms left to go. Of course, you guys may already know them. We have Giovanni and we have Blaine. So, we do the first thing, which is first, we surf towards Cinnabar Island. But first, we have to go through these Seafoam Islands. And inside of here, we have to go through a few different puzzles until we find Articuno. And I decide, hey, we have the Master Ball, we might as well use it. So yes, we caught ourselves an Articuno. We add that to the team, and later on, it does kind of save us, I'm not going to lie. So, now that we have an Articuno in the team, let's make it to Cinnabar Island. Inside of Cinnabar Island, we have to go first to the Pokemon Mansion. Inside the mansion, we have to find, well, the key to open the door to his gym. Once we find it, we go to his gym, and we do some of the puzzles and quizzes that you got to do if you want to skip all the trainer battles. We do a few trainer battles and do a few of the quizzes, and make it all the way to Blaine himself. Now, I'm going to be honest, wasn't really worried here. I mean, we didn't have a water type, but to be fair, most of the rest of our team was strong enough and leveled high enough that it could do everything on their own. Either way, Blaine was eventually defeated. Thanks to the help of all of our Pokemon coming in clutch, we were able to defeat him, and now we have to surf all the way back to Pallet Town. Once back in Pallet Town, we run up to Viridian City, and we enter the final gym. Inside of here, we'll find the man, the myth, the legend, Giovanni. We take Giovanni on, and the same way he was easy in the Silphco building, he is the same way easy right here. This man is not that difficult to defeat, I'll be honest. If you have a Nidoking with Surf and stuff, you can take out like 2 out of 3 of his Pokemon pretty easily, and the rest are just kind of chump work if you have a Charizard that's strong enough, or even really any other Pokemon. Most of the time, you shouldn't struggle too much here. So once we defeated him, we're now done with the gym challenge in the game. So the gym challenges are basically done now. Now we can just go and do the Elite Four if you want to, or we're just going to go and do our rival battle, which we end up doing against Blue. And this man, well, he was ready for us. He came in real hard. He had quite a strong, I'm not going to lie, Blastoise, but of course, as per usual. So we have a lot of good moves on it. We take out his team, and this is where the Kanto journey ends, ladies and gentlemen. And so now we are back in the hub. Yes, of course, we're back in the hub where it all started. This is the, again, area where you can go around. You can actually do a few battles here if you want to. It's not necessary, but of course, it's the best place to go to if you want to just hang out with your friends, go get certain items, or you can even do an almost battle frontier type of thing. There is some stuff like that that's available. I, on the other hand, just like jumping around here with my buddy, and that's it, guys. That is Pokengine. There are multiple regions, as you have seen. We finished the Kanto region, more or less. We still had the Elite Four left, but we ran out of the 100 days, so we couldn't do it. And that's it, guys. We made it to the end of this journey together. We also, as you guys may have seen, we went through Barovia. There is still a little bit of that mystery left there that we haven't uncovered just yet. I might do that on stream over on Twitch, which you guys should definitely check out, by the way, because we stream all these challenges and videos over on Twitch. On the other hand, also for Kanto, like I said, it's like the Elite Four is mostly all the thing that is left that we had to do within our time span where we ran out of time. And of course, finally, we can't forget it, lads, we also got to play Neo Sinnoh. Neo Sinnoh was fantastic. The fact that you had brand new Neo Sinnoh forms of certain Pokemon. I mean, Piplup having fighting typing was really different and unique and just interesting. Like, in any way or shape you look at it, it was just a fun way to experience Pokemon in a different way. And those were the regions. Of course, we did check out Cloudia as well. And there is 2-3 other big regions like Rika, which we didn't even do in this video, which we might do in a future one. So, stay tuned for a possible second video in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, that was 100 days in the biggest Pokemon MMO you've never played.